Hey, hey, hey. Hold up, y'all. I'm gonna share this out real quick. You know the deal, right? You know the deal. I'm gonna share this out, and because Facebook won't let me share from my biz page anymore, so now I gotta do the opposite and go the other way. If that's okay, it's all good, Facebook. You're not keeping me down, you know what I'm saying? I'll find a way around your ass. Hey, Bernadette, what's going on, my friend? Long time no talk. All right, here we go. There's one. And then, hey, Nicole Patton, long time no talk. I hope you're feeling well and you're healing and all the good things. Oh my gosh, I turned on my own video. Did you hear that? I just clicked on this live stream and it started playing for me. Freaky. So welcome you guys. It's New Year's Eve. Can you believe it? Here we are at the end of the damn year. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Just working and hating it. Bernadette, what are we going to do about that in 2020? Linda Schneider, I sent you your New Year's reading. Did you get that? Oh, that reminds me. My New Year's 2020 reading. It's a 20 card spread for everything that's going to happen. Well, I shouldn't say everything that's going to happen. Oh my gosh, because that just isn't the way it works. I meant all of the energy around you in 2020 for each aspect of your life. That's my New Year's reading. And the feedback that I've been getting on this reading is so good that people are loving this so much that I'm going to keep it open and available for the entire month of January. Because let's face it, you can get your New Year's reading at some point during the month of January and it still applies, right? You got time. So rather than shut it down, which I was going to last night or 2 nights ago, I decided I'm going to keep it open for the month of January. So if you want your 2020 reading, which is a 20 card spread on every area of your life. Oh my gosh, Linda, feel better. Hey, Mercy. I'm sorry to hear that. Stomach bugs suck. You can grab it. You grab it at soulalignedreadings.com. I'm going to put a link right now in the comments. Oops. Uh-oh. What did I just copy? Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm just totally... Wait a minute. You can look at my door for a second. Thank you, Bernadette. I know, I'm so excited. This reading is so good. It's so good. And people are just like loving it. I've gotten the best feedback because it's so detailed. And like I said, it goes over every aspect of your life. So love, home, finances, business, creativity, pleasure, travel, and every season of the year. I give kind of an overall theme for every season and one card that's like your overall arching theme for the year. So it's really, really cool. So go to my website and you can order it there. I need that. We'll go to soulalignedreadings.com, readings with an S, and just click on New Year's reading and you should be able to order that. And it's really cool. And hi, Emily. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Jocelyn. So this is this video today. Hey, Krista. Oh, by the way, Krista, you just reminded me because you asked me about my program, Becoming Fearless as Fuck, which starts tomorrow. So those of you who want to go with me on this journey, it's 4 weeks of going into what 2019 was like, what didn't serve you in 2019, and beyond that, way back. Like, what is holding you back? Gotta peel back the layers and release all those beliefs and all that trauma that's holding you back, and then start to rebuild your confidence, release, and just balance your chakras. We're going to talk about the chakras, the energy centers, how your fears are affected by your energy centers, how they work together, and then how to clear them and balance them. I'm going to do a guided meditation on that. And then we're going to rebuild your confidence. So we're going to figure out, well, now you know what you don't want, or now you know what's been holding you back. We're also going to do fears, common fears for humans, like fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of success and failure. We're going to go over all those different fears too. And we're going to just shine the light on them and we're going to release them. And then we're going to rebuild your confidence by knowing how to bring in what it is you do want, how to become more high vibes so you attract what you do want. And you don't give a shit about what anyone else thinks anymore. Won't that be freeing? So good morning. Hey, Chris. So that starts tomorrow. It's going to be live in a Facebook group, but if you're not there live, the replays will be there. So just hang out and just, you can still do everything on your own time. But it's 4 weeks of intensive. I'm going to be going live quite a bit, 4 weeks of intensive work, because I want you to have a transformation here. I don't want this to just be some bullshit thing that we do and then we're back to the same old habits and patterns when we're done. I want you to feel like you're going into the rest of 2020 with utmost confidence and courage to declare who you are, what you want to create, and you're going to go after it. And you're not going to let the same old shit get you down as it has in the past. So I'm not talking to you at this time of year, 12/31/2020, and you're like, okay, Jen, nothing changed. Like I've had that happen to me. It happened to me for many years, and I'm going to tell you why in this video, okay? And I didn't think it was this. This addicted to unhappiness is an interesting thing. And sometimes we don't think that's, what's going on, but we'll figure out that in a minute. But I had to go through this like really harsh reality check and go through this and really say, if I don't change, nothing changes. Like the common denominator is me. Like if I have to do this work. So in order to show up in a better way in my life and change shit, and it works. But it takes practice and it takes time and it takes learning, okay? Learning new things and being willing to do new things and think things differently. So that's what we're gonna do in this 4 weeks. So like I said, it's intense, but it's okay. You will absolutely just get the most like unconditional love and support, okay? And you will have this transformation at the end. If you're willing to do the work, okay? If you're willing to show up and do the work, then we're gonna go into a transformation where you're just able to do what you need to do for the rest of the year. And so I just want to celebrate with you how badass you become after you're done. So this is becoming fearless as fuck. Krista, if you're unable to get in this round, I'm most likely gonna do another round. Probably March or April of this year. So stay tuned. It's becoming fearless as fuck will happen again. I'm going to run through it again. This is the first beta version. So those of you who want to jump in, this is the beta pricing. It's lower pricing because of that. It's the first time going through it. And there's going to be kinks and stuff as we go through it. But next round, the price will go up. So just saying, if you really want to get in on this lower price, you might want to do it now. So if anyone wants to do that, the link to enroll is in the comments below. Becoming fearless as fuck. 4 weeks, me and you hanging out, busting through the bullshit. So you're not talking to me on December 31st of next year saying, wow, everything is still the same. Nothing's changed. What the hell happened? So there we go. So back to the topic at hand, which is, are you addicted to unhappiness? It sounds funny because the first thing we think of is, oh God, no. Like, what the hell? I would never. That sucks. Why would I do that? But this is a great question to meditate on, because what I have learned today from an email that I got is that this can be true. And I was in that space. And here's why. So I got an email this morning from PennZoo.com. And if you don't know what that is, it's an online journaling app. So you can go online. If you don't like writing in your journal, you can go and type it online, like virtual app, okay? So I was doing this 3 years ago online. And it said, I got this email that said, here's your journal entry from this very day, 3 years ago. And usually I delete those. I get them and I delete them, like whatever. But today I decided to open it. And New Year's Eve in 2016, I started to read it. And as I was reading, it came over me that I was concerned about, well, two things. Number one is I watched a video where the person that was speaking in the video she was talking about a Bible character, and I can't remember the woman's name. I'm not that much of a Bible scholar, so I can't remember the exact story. But it was about a woman who had gone through all sorts of hellish trials, tribulations, and challenges and obstacles. But she would always say, it is well. Even if people hurt her and screwed her over and all these bad things happened, she would just continue to have complete faith that everything was going to be okay, that this was happening to her for a reason. She didn't need to be bitter. She didn't need to focus on what she didn't have or how unfair it was or how much things sucked. And she just would say, it is well. And she had absolute faith in God or source or whatever you want to call it, universe, that the divine had her back, and that she was being, like I said, being brought situations where she needed to learn something, and it was for her highest good. And most of us don't think like that. Most of us don't say it is well when we're thinking of the shit situations that happen in our lives. We're pissed off, we're aggravated, we're really focusing on, well, that person has this. We start comparing ourselves to other people. Well, how come she has that? I should be as far along as him or her. Or we focus on, well, this just sucks. This is so unfair. That person's an asshole. Like, I can't believe they did that. Why do they get away with everything? Or every time I try to do something, nothing ever works out. I always have bad luck. Or I'm just, instead of every day thinking about the good things you do have, we all have blessings in our lives, always. I mean, just being alive is a blessing. We focus on, oh, I don't have this. I don't like my house. I don't like my car. My kids are a pain. My husband or my wife's a pain, or like all these things. I don't like my body. Like, we just focus on all the things we don't have. I don't like my bank account. And, it was interesting because I noticed in our culture just totally encourages us to stay that way. Like every commercial, most television shows and movies just focus on the misery and the suffering of human beings and encourage you to stay miserable. Like that's what it is. So, and I realized that the things that I wrote about in that journal entry, I was writing about things that I was stressed about at the time, 3 years ago in 2016. And I realized that I was still stressed about those things today. The same things I was saying there in this journal, I'm looking at it right now, are the same things that I'm stressed about today. So I've been addicted to staying in that space. Me, who I consider a pretty happy, positive person for the most part, spiritually connected, we all have the tendency to do this. We all have, we can all go there, okay? This is not, no one is immune from this. We can all go there. And I realized that I have programmed myself to think that everything has to be a struggle, to think that everything has to, this is just like, some situations I just have no control over, and I just have the worst luck, or I don't know what I'm doing, or I'm constantly unhappy with it. But I noticed that only the things in my life where this stayed the same was what I said about it or what I thought about it. My husband's bald head there just distracted me. But so what you speak, what you think, and what you say matters. And we think if you find yourself constantly complaining or being addicted to that unhappiness, or thinking negative thoughts about yourself or other people, or getting super triggered about everything in life, like every little thing triggers you, stop and wonder if this is part of an addiction to unhappiness. You're feeling like for some reason, if you're stressed or unhappy, at least you're doing something, but it never changes. The things that I complained about, the things that I was stressed about, the things that I spoke negativity over in my life still have not changed to this day. And I have had those same thoughts this year. Like, my thoughts have not changed. I have stayed in that space, and therefore I have stayed unhappy in those areas or unfulfilled in those areas. And I was like, shit, like it's an addiction at this point. 3 years later, I'm like, I have a belief, and that seems to be my comfort zone in this limiting belief that I am not happy in these areas, or I can't do any better in these areas, or shit keeps happening that I stay miserable because bad shit keeps happening. I was like, wow, dude, like, Jen, like, I have to reprogram my mind still, because this is always something I'm working on. And I invite you to do the same. Take inventory, be mindful. What are you saying to yourself about your life? What are you saying about certain aspects of your life? And I'm doing this now because my mastermind, my coach's mastermind that I'm in, we're taking stock of where we are today in every aspect of life, and we're rating ourselves. And then we're making a rating of where we want to be a year from now. And folding up my year from now, putting it away, not looking at it. I'm going to read it a year from now and see. But I just realized that I need to really reprogram my mind, that I need to not be addicted to unhappiness in certain areas, or addicted to limiting beliefs that hold me back, because I believe that it's too much, it's overwhelming, there's nothing I can do to improve. Other people are affecting this, if other people's fault, or blaming other things. Like, I'm still doing that, even though I do a shit ton of personal development and spiritual work. We still can do this. I want to make clear that, those of us who are coaches or spiritual teachers, we don't always have it figured out, and we always have to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. And there's always room for more learning and growing and expanding in consciousness. And so when I looked at how I rated myself for this year, I'm like, the places that I rated lower were the places that I was still complaining about, or that I still thought negatively about, or that I still didn't have full belief that it would ever get better, because my own limiting beliefs. So it was an addiction now to this unhappiness. It was this addiction to struggle. And I know I can look back and know where it comes from, not only our culture, but within my family. Like that was what I grew up with, was always struggle. You know, my mother was a single mom, you know, my parents had, you know, got divorced, like, and there were very limiting beliefs as far as, you know, family, money, relationships. And I can see where it comes from. So if you find yourself addicted to any of this and have super limiting beliefs and find yourself triggered, blaming, shaming, or just really just, you know, feeling like you want to just hide, you know, do the shadow work. This is what part of becoming fearless as fuck is about. We're going to do some of this shadow work in a different way than the spiritual sense, but we're still doing this because we need to look at those darker sides of ourselves where we're still holding ourselves back, where we're still speaking negativity over our lives, because all I'm doing is making negative affirmations. And I was like, damn. That is why I'm not improving in these areas from 2016, and the same areas in my book that I wrote today still get those same low ratings. Oops. Oopsies. So my mission now for myself and those, my clients, my group people, my clients and my groups and people that I work with, is that on a mission to get past the bullshit. Like to release ourselves from the chains of addiction. When we think of addiction, it's not always just drugs or sex or food or alcohol or what have you, or gambling or whatever. It can be addicted to a negative mindset. It can be addicted to the struggle. Shit. Why? Like that sucks. And nothing's gonna get better. And I realized that I've said the same things about this part of my life at the end of every year and wondered why they haven't changed. And I blamed other people, or I blamed certain circumstances. And it is me. And it is me. Yes, there's other people in my life that, you know, are part of that. But the higher my vibration, the more I'm focusing on being the best version of myself, then it just takes the emotional charge out of these things. And it helps to give me, it gives me kind of like the divine downloads on what I can do to be my best self in these situations, what I could do to make improvements, where my soul really wants to go, and be able to speak my truth about it. There were also places where I haven't been speaking my truth. So I'm the one holding myself back. I'm not being honest and saying what I need to say and not putting up some boundaries. Like, I mean, there's work to be done. So join me. For those of you who are not in Becoming Fearless as Fuck at this point, join us. We begin tomorrow. We're not playing. We are not playing. This is the stuff. This is the work. I want to make sure that in the end of 2019 or the end of 2020, I have made the improvements I want to make. And those areas of my life have gotten the boost where they need to go. And that means I need to keep on top of my mindset. I need to make sure that I am free from any kind of addiction. That's it. And that's mindset. And I mean an ego addiction, a mindset addiction. That I now need to be, if I need to be addicted to anything, it's to becoming the version of myself that I want to be. Period. Fuck. That's it. So I love you guys. If you want to know more about how to get into Becoming Fearless as Fuck, you can comment below, you can message me, or you can just click the link in the comments and just get in. Because this is the last day. The doors close tonight. We start tomorrow. So that's it. And I will be running it again later on in the year, but it's going to be, the cost is going to go up a bit more. So that's it. You're welcome for my honesty. I am looking forward to it too. Yes. I hope you feel better. Hey, Norma. Hey, Angie and Rebecca and Cody. So any questions, let me know. Thank you for your time as always. Your time is precious. Enjoy your New Year's Eve. Party hardy in the way, whatever that means to you. But if you're partying with, in an adult way, please be careful and please be safe. We want you in one piece for 2020. But for me, that means Chinese food and chillin', probably that like Welch's sparkling grape juice. That's me. And I'm just gonna enjoy the last moments of this decade. Oh my God. And I'm going to release, and I'm going to take the lessons with me, release the crap, and we're going to crush this next year. We are going to freaking crush this. It's 2020, 2020. That's just a divine number if I've heard one. So what are y'all going to do with that energy? That energy is right there for you for the taking. What are you going to do with it? It's time to decide, but that's a whole other video. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.